Hi everyone, welcome to this Facebook Live. Today it's called Dare to Feel, and it's about my hat as a body-mind therapist, helping people to know themselves and their feelings and their emotions and how to manage them and how to better their life with it because of it. My name is Bess McCarty, founder and coach with the MLM Millionaire Club, School for Network Marketers, making network marketing simple. I've been having fun partnering with Jeff Gamble these last few months, teaching in the school together. Can leave it, especially about the 10 core commitments and just bringing the very, very best to the students. So I'll post a link for that. Today, though, I wear the hat of the shrink of MLM, a body-mind therapist, helping people to have better lives and better businesses by being in touch with our feelings and needs and knowing how to meet those needs. I did bring my little mascot along today. This is Charlie. And he definitely helps me to open my heart and be in touch with my feelings. He goes, "What are we doing here? Do you got that Facebook Live on me again?" Do you have that Facebook Live on me again? But he's just sitting in my lap here while we're talking, so he'll just be here. He's comfortable on a pillow. So thank you, Charlie, for helping me to be in touch with my feelings. Let's see who joined us here. Oh, hello, Joel. Welcome. Oh, awesome. And so welcome everybody who's watching. And if you are watching the replay, I'd love if you type replay so that I can thank you for that. Also love to hear where you're from. Love if you type in where you're from. You may also want to grab a paper and pen because we're going to be covering some cool stuff today that is concerned with living a better life and being a better leader and a better business person in network marketing or just for all of life. So the title of this is Dare to Feel, because a lot of times we get kind of scared of our feelings. And I have a shirt here about that. Someone gave me this shirt as I was teaching at Body Mind College. Sorry, Charlie. How are you feeling today? See all those different ways that we might be feeling. All these different ways. There's so many different ones, but there's about 30 on this shirt. Can't see. Ways to identify. These little pictures help us to identify. It might be reading it backwards, but maybe just from the faces on the chart can learn to identify how am I feeling today. And why is that important? Because this is part of you. This is knowing yourself, and when you know yourself and also how to manage your feelings, you become empowered. I was just reading on Facebook a friend, Brian Fryer. He wrote, "People will follow a leader who is always real versus one who's always right." So isn't that, you've heard, I'd rather be loving than right. And I'd rather come from the heart and do what's loving rather than be right. So that fits with that. But that also, and it also applies into business, right? So if you want to be a leader in your network marketing business and have people follow you, come from the heart because they feel that. And the only way to do that is to be in touch with your feelings and your needs and to know yourself. So emotion, feelings, is what adds color to our life. It's what adds passion and joy to what you do. We are only alive as much as we feel. And we can only feel joy as much as we're willing to feel pain. Hello, Sarah. Welcome. Hello, Eric. Glad everybody's here. Love to hear where you're from. Thank you for the likes and loves, too. I do appreciate that. So we're talking, of course, about feelings today. And the only way to feel fully alive and joy and passionate is to also be willing to feel the pain And that's where we get stuck a lot of times. We're not really willing to embrace life completely because, you know, we want to feel good, right? And we want to avoid the bad feelings. So when we don't know what to do with the bad feelings are actually an indication of something that is needed in our life. It's a little cue, a red light in our dashboard to let us know something that's needed in our life. However, if we don't know how to solve that feeling or that need or listen to it, we might want to numb it, turn it off, deny it, run from it, anesthetize it with all the things that we know that we can. You know, there's alcohol and overwork or drugs or TV. There's all sorts of ways to turn off uncomfortable feelings or painful feelings and not feel them. Hello, Sarah's from Delaware. Welcome. Welcome from Delaware. So, hello, Athena. So glad to have you here. So this is where we get into trouble. It's when we run into uncomfortable or painful feelings and we don't want to feel them, and so we bury them or deny or anesthetize, or you know, we run from them in some way. Oh, let me watch a TV show instead of deal with my uncomfortable feelings. But that doesn't work if that feeling is telling us that we need something. We need to change something in our life. We need to do something better or add something in. Then just denying it doesn't help anything or change anything. John Bradshaw actually said that our unmet needs, our problems, or feelings that we don't take care of are like a hungry dog in the basement. If you shut that hungry dog or your feeling, right, Charlie? Right? I don't want to be a hungry dog in the basement. I don't. I want to be loved and taken care of and listened to. When I'm hungry, I want to be fed. When I want to go out, I want to go out. And when I want love, I come and let you know, and I want that love. So if I ignore my feelings, or if I ignore Charlie and say, oh, you shouldn't have those needs, you shouldn't be hungry, you shouldn't want love, you shouldn't want attention, you shouldn't have to go outside. If I just put him in the basement and lock the door, is that going to help anything? You know, we do the same thing with our feelings. We might lock and shove them away, but is that going to help anything if those feelings are there to express a need that needs to be met? Hello, Rachel. So good to see you. Oh, Charlie, yeah, he likes being on these. I think he likes sitting in my lap anyway right now. So if I ignore my feelings and shut them away, John Bradshaw says it's like ignoring a hungry dog. And you just lock him in the basement and you lock the door. Does that take care of the dog? No. Actually, he gets hungrier over time. And so then he might start, you know, whining, not respond to. He might start scratching on the door, not responded to. Then he might start clawing at the door, you know, desperate to get needs met, to get fed or be let out or anything. And still ignore the dog or the feelings. Then they get ferocious. Then they cause problems. Then he might be pounding on the door. You know, let me out of here. Let me out of this prison. I need to be fed. I need to be taken care of. And it's the same thing with their feelings. That's a good analogy, right? It's the same thing. Now, we may have feelings that, emotions that we can shift just by thinking positively, or by giving in some way. That can get me out of a funk. You know, if my attention's too much on myself and I feel kind of stagnant or unhappy, just giving to someone or reaching out or thinking of someone besides me can shift those feelings real fast. Or just thinking positive. You know, like if I have some worry or fear about something coming up, oh, am I going to do this Facebook Live right or something like that? Then I might want to shift to a positive view of getting attention off me, off the people onto the people that I want to help, and imagine that it could make a difference for at least, maybe it'll make a difference for somebody out there to hear this. And so that can help my feelings of fear or, you know, about doing a Facebook Live. But if that does not shift it, then I might want to look deeper and say, well, are my negative feelings or fears giving me a message about something that I need to take care of? Thank you for the likes and loves, everybody. And Athena says yes. So maybe some people can relate. If you can relate to Having feelings that you don't know how to handle, right? Yes, because that's letting us know that we are not alone, right? So if I'm thinking positive and I still have a fear about doing Facebook Lives, I have to ask myself, well, am I prepared? You know, I might see, well, what's that feeling about? Or maybe I need to, again, shift and think of the people and not myself on the Facebook Lives. That's a sure cure for shyness, by the way, is to think of others. Right, Charlie? Yes, we do. He thinks of giving me love. So we can think about sharing love and put the attention on others rather than on ourselves. Can be one message our feelings are trying to give us. And I'll go into how this applies to network marketers in a minute. Athena says it's very cool. I agree. Thank you. And hi, James. Welcome. And Pat. Cool. And Saad. Glad to see you. So glad everybody's here. Love if you type in where you're from. That would be really cool. So a little, here's what I know as a body-mind therapist. I have been a body-mind therapist and a Tai Chi instructor for over 30 years. What the Chinese teach Tai Chi, right? And what they say is that, oh, Western man lives from neck up. He only lives in his head. He forgets about his heart and about his body, which represents the intuitive or gut level feelings about things. That there's really three centers in the body. They say there's the intellect, and then there's the heart or feeling, and then there's the body or intuitive. And so we have our head, heart, and body. And the Chinese say Western man only lives neck up. He's not in touch with his emotions or his body. And that's what I found too. A lot of times we like to disconnect or get kind of disembodied or disconnected even from our feelings. So I like to encourage breathing as a way to be in touch with our body and our feelings as well. And it can also, so breathing before you ask yourself, how am I feeling today? How am I feeling today? Like that shirt, right? How am I feeling today? Can you identify at any given moment how you're feeling? Do you know yourself that much? It empowers you to do that. It's important to know. Women are better at this than men, of course, and men are better at thinking. But yet we can develop both sides of ourselves, and especially the older that men get, the more natural it is for them to be in touch with their feelings. So don't worry, men. That may come a little easier in life. However, it can be very empowering to know what you're feeling and needing. Let's see. I wanted to read you. Feelings can be comfortable or uncomfortable, can be happy or it can be positive or negative. Some feelings that are very positive are when we are happy, glad, delighted, joyful, content, excited, hopeful, proud, confident, inspired, peaceful. When we're glad, when we're cheerful, when we are exuberant, satisfied, or feeling love or awe. Now, some feelings when we are not getting our needs met can come up as negatives. I made this chart, my Real Conversations chart. I'll put a link where you can get a free chart and an audio to go with it to help you lead you through the 4 steps of Real Conversations that I developed and trademarked. The first step is that when we have 4 steps to move from problem to solution in minutes. So that if you have a problem in your company, in your business, you're not making your calls, or your team is not motivated or anything, you can identify the problem, the feeling, the need, and the solution, and walk yourself from problem down to solution in minutes. Last Facebook Live, last week, I covered in depth the step number 1. Today we're on the step number 2, or how to identify or know what the feelings are. Why is that important? Because they can help to lead to awareness of the step number 3, or the needs. Feelings can help us be in touch with what we need, and we have to figure that out before we can solve it, right? Before we can meet that need in a good way. So that's why I'm focusing today on step number 2, to help know feelings. And first of all, we have to give ourselves permission to know them, because when we were kids, it wasn't maybe allowed to have some feelings, maybe none of the negative ones. Oh, you're not angry, you're not sad, don't cry. You know, be a big girl, be a big boy, don't cry. No, you're not angry, stop hitting your brother, instead of showing how to deal with the emotions in a good way. I'm going to let Charlie get down here. He wants to get down and go do some stuff. Thanks for being on, Charlie. You're the star. You're the star, buddy. So, feelings can help us to know what we need and then to meet that need. But we get sort of divorced from our feelings. We shut them off when we were little if we were told it's not okay to have them. You know, stop crying, stop hitting your brother, instead of teaching us what to do with the anger, or to get it out, you know, in a punching bag or hitting a baseball or something like that. To get the anger out, we just say, stop being angry. Therefore, we get the message, it's not okay to be angry. It's not okay to be sad or cry. Mommy and Daddy don't like that. It's not okay to have needs even. So we start, and we want that love because we're just little kids and we desperately need the love of our parents, don't we? So we have to choose between my feelings and needs and my parents' love. Well, we need love so badly, so desperately when we're little, that we choose the love. And we sacrifice our own connection with ourselves and our feelings. But this comes when our parents are not in touch with their own feelings because it wasn't okay for them and so on. So it's sort of an inherited pattern, right? So we shut them off. I'm going to read you some feelings from the second box here in my chart, the second box in my chart. And these are feelings that can signal an unmet need. So as I read these, just see if any of them resonate with you. Usually there's several feelings we have at once, and we can feel happy and negative at the same time. We can have several, seemingly opposite feelings at once, so that's normal too. So as I read these, just see if any resonate with you. I read you the positive ones already. Maybe some of those resonated with you. And these uncomfortable feelings. If you feeling any of these right now, or any jump out at you, it's okay. It's a sign of an unmet need. Every need is valid. Every feeling is valid, and the need that it indicates is valid too. So basically, I put these into 4 categories: sad, mad, scared, and miscellaneous. Under sad, there can be feelings of loneliness, disheartened, troubled, helpless, gloomy, grief, overwhelmed, distant, despondent, discouraged, distressed. If you're feeling any of these, rest assured that there is a need under that can be met, and then the feeling goes away, like the red light in the dashboard goes away when you add gas or water. Little interruption. Under mad, there could be angry, aggravated, frustrated, irritated, agitated, furious, enraged, hostile, bitter, pessimistic, resentful. Now, maybe it's not fun to ask if you're feeling any of this stuff, but if something has been your hungry dog in the basement, this might be the chance to take out your paper and pen and just write that down. That can help you to be aware of your feelings, or to say yes, and give permission to yourself to have these feelings. Under scared could be, scared to make your calls, let's say, afraid, fearful, terrified, startled, nervous, panicky, jittery, horrified, anxious, worried, anguished, lonely. Under miscellaneous could be hesitant, apathetic, uncomfortable, ambivalent, feeling ambivalent, embarrassed, hurt, uneasy, indifferent, fidgety, listless. That's my list in the second box of this chart, which I will put a link so you can have one too. Why? Because sometimes we may not be aware of what we're feeling, and it's helped me sometimes. I'm feeling uneasy, but I'm not quite sure what it is. I might go through that chart and identify, oh, I'm feeling frustrated because something is not moving along in my life like I would like it to be or like I need it to be. And then I uncover the need under that, such as, well, I need education. I need to find out something about this project before I can move it forward. So then I figured out why I feel uneasy, and I can identify what that is and go get that information. Well, let me give you another example, though. Remember, this can all just take minutes. It doesn't need to take all day or anything like that. And the whole purpose of this is to save you time. If you have downtime or feel stuck in your business, I'm not making your calls, I'm not doing your team trainings or I don't want you to lose, minutes, hours, days, or even years to being stuck. So this is a self-coach process that you can walk yourself through from that being stuck to solution in just minutes. And it works with that chart, with my method, which I also provide an audio so it shows you how to use it. So hello, Cindy, welcome. And as we go, anybody have a question or a tip or an experience, please type that in below, because I would like to share in a little bit, answer questions about this topic or anything about network marketing. And or also offer your insights, your tips to people too. So here's an example. I used to be full-time network marketing in a full-time network marketing company years ago. I am now dedicated solely to coaching network marketers. I run classes and teach classes, as I mentioned, in my school, and with Jeff Gamble we're teaching together. And I am making calls right now to let people know about the classes. And I found some reluctance about that. And I thought, well, what's that about? And I teach how to make these calls and everything. So what's that reluctance about? And I realized that it was holding myself to a very high standard. Like, am I good enough to hold a focus all day long talking to people and coming from the right place? Rather than a join my class place, a place of, well, how are you in your life, and what's in it for you about this? So I was thinking, a little self-doubt. Can I hold myself to staying in a pure, true place as I make my calls? And so once I recognized that was the feeling and the need underneath there, I simply rededicated myself to doing my best, to putting people's best interest first and learning about them and caring about them. Like that quote that we heard just a little bit ago from Brian Fryer, who said, people will follow a leader who's real versus one who's always right. So I committed to let my heart show and let my care for people come out. And people won't care what you know until they know that you care, right? So that solved my little block that I had about making my calls, to let people know about the classes that I teach, about how to make calls. So it's wild, huh? Welcome, Henry, hey, and Cindy. Henry, so glad you're here. And Expedite, hey. Henry Stinson is a producer of a TV show called Undiscovered. about helping. It's the best TV reality show, or the only one that I know, that really helps the everyday person to shine and to reach their goals. I posted about that on my Facebook page. You might want to check it out, and follow Henry. Just incredible person. Talk about coming from the heart. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And not every man can do that, so that is very cool. Congratulations, Henry, and to your beautiful wife and all of your team. So we are talking about heart and feelings. Another example about how you can use this in your business. Let's say that your team is inactive. Oh yeah. Hi, Henry. Yeah, he said I'm kind. Oh, look who's talking. You will be blown away by what he does for people on there, and for the lady that on their first show that they featured, and how beautiful young lady, and how they helped her to reach her dreams. So another example in network marketing. By the way, leave questions, tips, so that I can read those in just a minute, okay? About this topic or anything about network marketing. So let's say scenario, your team is inactive. And what are you feeling? Could be anger, shame, embarrassment, frustration, discouragement about your team not performing. So it's important to get in touch with the feeling, because under that, then you can uncover what the need is. And it's different each time for me, in each case, it's different for each person. So you could use that chart that I'll put the link for to uncover how you're feeling about your team. And then you can ask that feeling, what are you saying? You know, what are you saying? Well, it might be that the team should not be lazy, or should not get distracted. The team should focus and reach their goals. One solution to that could be to turn it around and say, am I reaching my goals? Am I active? Am I doing my presentations? So that's one technique, is whenever we have a judgment about somebody, go ahead and let that judgment speak, at least on paper, you know, or to a trusted friend. Let it go ahead and speak. This is why I'm frustrated with my team. This is what I think about them. This is what I judge about them. And then turn that around and say, well, am I the same way as my team? Am I really saying this to myself? And then see what you need to do. Maybe you need to get active. Maybe you need to get skills. Maybe you need a coach or a mentor, or ask your upline or a coach like me, to help make you accountable or give you the skills that you need to go forward. When you do that, likely your team will follow. So the need might be for self-responsibility, skills, and accountability partner. You know, if your team is inactive, that's why it's important to be in touch with your feelings and your needs underneath that. So hello, Marina, and everybody's saying hi and hey. Okay, anybody have a question about any of this? Robert Plutchik identifies 8 basic emotions. See if you agree with this, but there's fear, anger, sad, glad, and he also adds disgust, surprise, trust, and anticipation. Usually we focus on the mad, sad, glad ones, and my chart does that. So that's what you could ask yourself at any given time. How am I feeling? Mad, sad, glad? And again, if we're feeling negative, the trick might be just to shift and think positive, or just smile. Did you know that body, mind, just smiling, I feel better just by smiling. There's a cartoon about Charlie Brown, and he's standing there with his head, you know, slumped down, looking at the ground, and somebody said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm being depressed." And you have to stand like this to be depressed, because if you stand up straight, then you're no longer depressed. So you have to stoop over and look at the ground to feel depressed. And it can be the same, you know, if we change our body or our face or emotions, it can also, our body, it can change our emotions. But sometimes they still persist, and that's when we need to give an ear to them and talk with them like we would a good friend, talk with our heart, get to know ourselves, because it empowers us to know how we're feeling. That leads us to the needs on the chart, the third box, which leads us to the solution. And I'm going to cover the third box, the needs, next Facebook Live every Tuesday here, 2 p.m. Central Time. And then following week, I'm going to cover solutions. So now I've walked you through the 4 steps. You don't have to wait though, because I'll put a link for free lessons that walk you through the 4 steps. They're very simple, and you can learn this right away today. So that's the best thing I have to share with you as a body-mind therapist, as a network marketing coach, is the real conversations to help you get past any stuck place fast. Now, if you need help beyond that, the self-coached methods, private message me. This is my specialty, to help people make breakthroughs, very much like Tony Robbins does. Been doing this for 30 years. Helped a lot of people, and be glad to help you too. Thank you, Henry. I see you there with your likes and loves, and thank you, everybody. Does anyone have a question before I conclude? This is a lot of talk about feelings. If you do have one, Athena says, thank you. Oh, likes and thank you very much. Thank you very much. Anybody who has a thought or question, let's keep the discussion going on Facebook, on this thread, and I'll come back. You can always private message me. Thank you each for being here. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for being willing and brave enough to feel. It's a courageous act for many people that have been hurt in the past and in your life. But remember, if you put away the negative feelings, you put away the joyful ones and the passion too. So let's be brave. Let's embrace life. Embrace it fully, as I heard one teacher say, embrace life fully with all of its joy and pain completely. Be brave enough to do that, because there's a purpose for each kind of emotion. Athena says, thank you. Thank you all for being here. And check out the link, because you're going to love that, I think. Okay, everybody, take care. See you next Tuesday, 2 p.m. Central Time. Oh, and if you would like some teaching with Jeff Campbell and me, join us for Facebook Lives every weekday, Monday through Friday, noon Eastern Time, where we teach the laws of leadership. They are so cool. I just get I gain a nugget every day to make me a better person, a better teacher, and we hope for you for Network Marketer. If you want to plug into that, go to the Facebook group, MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show. MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show. You can request membership there, see the show, get a replay, get a free book, and it's foundational stuff. I think you'll love it. And Athena is a member there and has been sharing our Facebook Lives and our events about that. So thank you so much for sharing it and being a part of it all too, Athena. Everybody take care. Thank you for all you do. Bye-bye.